Welcome to the Phoenix Perspective Podcast. I'm your host, Corey Ray Kovacs, a registered nurse and reflector in human design on a sole mission to help women like you rise from life's ashes with abundant energy, purpose, and joy. Each week, we'll meet at the intersection of science, soul, and storytelling as we create a bridge between holistic women's health, the sacred feminine, and cyclical wisdom. You'll get tools and insights from experts and guests, helping you to thrive in every area of your life. So go ahead and pull up a chair, grab your favorite crystal or cup of tea, and let's rise like phoenixes together. Hi, friend. Welcome to season 2. OMG. I was so excited. I missed you. I'm hitting the microphone here. I'm so excited. My hands are like everywhere. I missed you, friend. It's been a great break for the last 2 months, but to be honest, I missed recording and getting to sit and talk with you. And so I'm glad. I'm glad that we're getting started again. You know, it's what's so beautiful about the cycles, right? Is that you get to embrace every season that you're in. And I feel like the last couple of weeks have been that point when winter is like pretty much done and you're like over it. You're like over the season. You're just like, can we move on to spring, please? You know, I'm a girl who loves every season, and I find all the beautiful things that I can find in every season. And also I'm also a human being who like wants new things. And I feel like this time that we have together been it just fills my cup in so many ways. And I love getting to share things with you. And so as I've been approaching this date to be able to record our, season 2 opener, I just was so excited and I was definitely itching for it. I know this week I've been feeling amazing. I'm in my ovulation window right now, or just like coming to the end. I'm on day 16 today. So I might have already ovulated. I don't know. Some perimenopause things going on right now. Not really sure. Kind of waiting and see what my temperature is going to do. But yeah, I know that I've been feeling that rising energy, and it's really cool because that, my friend, is what the theme is for this season. It's called Rising in Real Life. And that's my goal here during this, for the next few months as we come together on the moon phases. So the full moon, new moon, the quarter moons. I'm always going to be here sharing some ways for you to be able to create a life that feels like joy, that feels uplifting, that feels like vitality, and giving you practical tools to be able to do that. Because real life is messy and it sometimes can be really challenging, especially as a woman with a cyclical body whose hormones change from week to week, and sometimes the real life things that we do, the going to work, the taking care of the house, the raising the children, caring for our fur babies, being a partner, being a friend, being a sister or a daughter. All of these roles that we play can be really challenging, especially at certain points in our cycle. And my goal is to help give you a space to think about this cyclical nature of us and to understand that just because one thing is easy one week doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be easy the next week. And that if things are more difficult at certain points of your cycle, or certain seasons of your life, then it doesn't mean that anything's wrong or that you're broken or that everybody else has figured it out but you haven't. That's not the case at all, sister. So we're going to talk about that. And that's what is so cool. The other thing that I really want to lean into during this season is getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. I realized after season 1 and seeing all of the beautiful responses and emails and comments that I had on the episodes, And by the way, just thank you so much for such warm reception to these messages. I think we really were craving a space where we could have these conversations about, asking each other, where are you at in your cycle right now? Like, what's going on with your life? How is it? Talking about the things that perhaps have been considered taboo, busting through period stigma, and maybe even broaching into subjects that are often either difficult to talk about or have considered by society that they are off limits. And I realized something. I was like, you know, I want to make a space where we can talk about those things. I don't want to have to edit myself, and I don't want you to have to edit yourself either. When it comes to these experiences that we have on a regular basis, on a daily basis, and throughout our lives, like the real life, this is what it's like to live life as a woman, as a cyclical being, as a person who menstruates, as a person who gives birth to babies and who, has challenges, specific challenges with her body that comes along with that territory. And I got to admit that we live in a world that is not made for us. And that's hard. I think something that I've desired in my life is to have community, to connect with women, to have spaces where I could just talk about the things. It's not necessarily like this space where we're just venting about things, but it's like, hey, I'm having a really hard time today. I'm having some anxiety today, and I would like to be able to support myself through that. How can I do that? How do you care for yourself when you're going through anxiety during your ovulation phase? Or, how do you care for yourself when you're just feeling really stressed and burnt out and your period's coming and you've got all of these things to do? Like, how do you do that? How do you manage those things? Like, I think the more that we open up space to have conversations like this gives us permission to live life as we are, to accept that we are the beings that we are. We have the bodies that we have in all the different colors, shapes, and sizes. We have the variety of experiences throughout our menstrual cycle. There's a lot of commonalities that we have, but every cycle is unique to every body. And then there's also challenges too when it comes to intimacy and pleasure and reaching orgasm or exploring other taboo topics like fantasies and desires. And geez, there's just so much. There are so many topics that I think are worthy of being looked at because this is what life is. It's not this perfectly curated Instagram worthy life. It's the messy stuff. It's getting up and going and doing that workout when we don't feel like it. It's, caring for ourselves and trying to break through generational patterns of self abandonment and self criticism on a daily basis so we can show up and feel confident at work. It's helping raise little ones and so they aren't, hating their body for the rest of their lives while also trying to repair the relationship with ourselves. I believe that rising is not about becoming perfect. Like, when I think of the phoenix, I got Pussy Phoenix back there. Hi. If you're watching on YouTube, then you can see it. That's my painting. If you didn't know, that's what that called. It's called Pussy Phoenix. If you're just listening on Spotify, you really should go check it out on YouTube. This painting, if you've not seen it. But I painted that over a menstrual cycle, and she always inspires me every time I look at her. But when I think about that rising, the rising of the phoenix, she has her wings spread out and her chest is open and her heart is open to her womb portal, and that's really what that represents. It feels expansive, but it feels grounded, and it's certainly not perfect. It's unique and it's perfect for you. I think we've lived so long without the connection to our bodies, without the connection to our hearts, to our desires, to the things that light us up. We've been living lives basically disconnected, and we're unplugged. We're unplugged from the things that really would bring us life or bring us back to life. And so this season, we're going to have episodes where it's just going to be you and me chit chatting, and we're going to talk about real life things. We're going to talk about birth control. We're going to talk about some pleasure things. We're going to talk about the messy parts of our cycle. And I'm going to help to create a safe space for us to actually contemplate these things, to reflect on how they've had an impact in our life and where we might be holding ourselves back from experiencing the best life that we can given the season that we're in. And I think that's a really, really important space. And I'm really excited to record those things. I haven't recorded them yet, which is cool because I love doing real time recordings with you because I think it's one of the beautiful things about being a reflector in human design is that oftentimes there's things that come up in the moment that are perfect, like the perfect timing of these conversations. And I believe that they help you, they help me, they're helping everybody in this community. And that's what's so beautiful is that we're building something together. And I'm excited for that. I also have some awesome guests who are going to bring you some insights and share with you their transformations and things that have helped them live their fullest life, what it took for them to go from where they were at their most challenging point and what it took to rise and what they had to do on a daily basis to kind of crawl out of the hole, so to speak, to get from that space where they were in the ash of being the phoenix. And we go through that phoenix cycle and everything burns to the ground. And we're in that dark night of the soul, the place where we feel like we're at rock bottom. There's things that we have to do to come out of that space. And so you are going to meet some incredible women who have powerful Phoenix stories, who some of them are now helping others to rise through their challenges. And some of them are just living their best lives. And it's so amazing. I love every single one of them. And I actually, I have a treat for you. I have a trailer and just a little preview of everything that you're going to see during season 2. It's a little montage. I've never made a montage before. It was kind of fun, but I made a montage and I made this for you to just give you a little teaser, a little taste about everything that is going to be talked about and some golden nuggets that are going to be dropped from these incredible guests that are going to be on the Phoenix Perspective podcast in season 2. So go ahead, sit back, grab your coffee, and let's take a look.
It messes with you psychologically. I mean, you don't know what's going on. You feel isolated.
But immediately my brain lit up in that moment that was like, there are other people that are going through this that also don't have answers.
Right. Because once it's framed correctly and you're just in a space where you can feel heard and validated, where the shame can come out of the hiding and into the light and just be transmuted through it being spoken, right? Shame dies in the light.
What about our menstrual cycle was so powerful that we now have created these whole stories so women believe that it's something that is a nuisance or that it's shameful or something that we need to get rid of?
What I have realized is that we're not going to smash patriarchy. We are going to dismantle patriarchy. And the dismantling comes one woman, one menstruator, one child, one family at a time.
Okay, these things have happened to me, but I am accountable for figuring out how to live my life in a different way. And that one mindset shift changed my entire life.
Both can be true, and we can honor both. Hey, I get this gift, and I'm also really sad. We can honor both.
Like, that's where it was. That's where it happened. And then literally the next day, Corey sitting on my front porch and being like, my nervous system is completely different. Like, really, the healing is so beautiful.
It's like I've been painting in monochrome my whole life. And now suddenly I have the whole rainbow palette. And it's exciting. And it's beautiful. And it's also terrifying because I don't know what to do with it.
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Just like reflecting on these conversations, because I don't know if you can tell, I still have blue hair in most of those conversations because I recorded them several months ago. And I've had incredible guests that I brought you. Just, I did so many recordings when I first started, and now I'm finally getting to bring them to the world, and I'm really excited about it. So, the cool thing is these are women who are real women, just like you and me, who are rebuilding themselves from the inside out. And I'm excited to share their stories with you. So, the way it's going to work, right? We have our solo, I have my solo episodes with you on the new moon and the full moon. And then on those quarter moons, we're going to hear the interviews. We're building a remarkable community, we're building a remarkable space. I am really looking forward to helping you to have better tools because I think, the tool piece is really important. I always think about, well, right now, I'll share a little bit of what's going on in my life right now, a little update, what I've been up to the last 2 months. So I have 24 baby chickens down in my basement right now. They're bigger now. They're ready to go outside. My basement smells like chicken, like a farm. But we have been repairing an old playhouse that we have on our property, and we're repurposing it for this chicken coop. We need a bigger coop to house all these girls, and so we are using different tools to be able to rebuild this house. Most of it's still built, but we got to repair the roof. We got to repair the floor, all these kind of things. It's been an adventure moving this thing, let me tell you. But I want to emphasize the importance of using the right tools for the project that you're doing, because if you don't choose the correct tools, then it's going to be really difficult for you to get things done. Like a screwdriver, for example, is really convenient when you need to take the back off of your kid's toy and, unscrew the little screw so you can replace the batteries, right? But a screwdriver is not very handy if you are trying to drill wood screws into 4x4s, like wood planks, right? You would be there forever and your poor hand would be exhausted. You just wouldn't be able to get it done. You just don't have the strength or the stamina to be able to build an entire house with a screwdriver like that. We have better tools for that. We have a drill with a Phillips head screw bit on it. That's what we're going to use to put those screws in the wood. It's much more efficient. We're not having to exhaust ourselves. It's still work, but that's the right tool for the job. And what I've come to realize is that we have been living lives as women, as cyclical beings who bleed, who have hormone changes throughout our lifetime, who have specific needs, specific nervous systems that require different stimuli and stress responses. Our bodies are unique and they are different than men's bodies. There are some things that are the same, but there are other things that are different. They just operate differently. It doesn't mean that one is better than the other. It just means that they operate differently. But the problem is that we have lived in a world for such a long time that has been giving us tools that are based on men's physiology, that are based on men's nervous systems, because that's all they've studied. That's all that we've kind of looked at the lens of human experience from a man's perspective, from a male body's perspective. And even in spirituality is very male dominant. We're talking about like patriarchal here. And this is not, please do not think that this is dissing men. It's not. They are also caged in a world of patriarchy that tells them they have to be a certain way. But when women got kind of taken out of the picture in terms of building society after the witch trials, and things really started to change when capitalism took off and colonialism, and I mean, there's a whole lot of things. And this is not supposed to be a history lesson. I think my point is that we have been handed tools that we're not designed for the projects and the things that we do, the experiences that we live inside this body as cyclical bodies. And it's not our fault. So, what we've done is we've done the best we can. We've created lives that try to make up for the fact that we're not playing with the right tools and not using the right things. But what's happened is that we've had to dismiss, shut down, and push away, push aside parts of us that don't fit in the world that's been created around us. That means we've pushed away our pleasure. We've pushed away our desire. We've pushed away our periods and the connection between our souls and our bodies, our experience as physical beings. We've pushed away aging and perimenopause and the roles that we play when we're on the other side of our cycling years. And we've done this out of survival. We've done it because we're just trying to make sense of our world. We're just trying to we're just trying to live our real lives, y'all, you know? And so I think my goal for this season is to give us space, give ourselves permission to explore what it's like living in our bodies and what it is that we need. What kind of physical movement do we need? What kind of nutrition do we need? What kind of uh, what kind of pleasure or joy do we need? What kind of play do we need? What kind of relationships we need? What kind of rest, right? What's the level of rest and when do we need it? Like really understanding and giving ourselves permission to just look and see what it is that would help us live fuller lives. So, the mission of the Phoenix Perspective podcast, I would say hasn't changed, but now that I've done the first season and I kind of figured out what I'm doing, got some jitters out, and started kind of like exploring a little bit about what I wanted to talk about. I would say that the podcast isn't changing, it's just growing and developing as we go through another cycle. The way that I see my menstrual cycles is like every single month I get to explore different parts of myself and I get to deepen my understanding about who I am through every phase, through the expansive phase of my follicular phase, through the beautiful, creative, but often challenging part of my ovulation, through the clarity and kind of no bullshit area of my luteal phase, and then through the receptivity and spiritually open space that I am during my menstrual phase, during my period. So I see the podcast also going through a bit of a shedding, a bit of like a menstrual phase in and of itself in this podcast where I release some things that no longer served. And then, I'm bringing forth new eyes, new base of understanding about who I am as the person that is doing the show, as well as who the show is as it is starting to take form. This show, this podcast is not just about women's health. Yes, I'm a registered nurse. Yes, I, teach about, how to track your cycles so that way you can, live a better life and understand yourself a little bit more deeply and experience better periods. But it's not just about women's health. It's also about the spiritual components of us, the emotional components about us, the things that we've experienced and the whole part that makes us who we are. I always want to bring forward the bridge between science and soul and real life. Like that, I think, is the intersection that is really important. And I'm going to continue doing that here, just like I did in season 1. But I think this season, I really want to have more of these like real life conversations and create language for the lived female experience. I want to bring some of these conversations that maybe we've not felt like we could talk about perimenopause, about our periods, about our struggles in our relationships, about, our struggles and challenges with works and career and balancing all the things and the mental load and all of this stuff, right? Breaking generational patterns. These are the things that I want us to be able to have a space to talk about. I want to talk about those things because I feel like when we bring them to light, even the messy parts, even the parts that aren't so pretty, when we bring those things to the light, then they lose their power and we get to make intentional choices on how we move from there. I really want the show to morph into a place where we all feel like we can practice having challenging conversations and then take those conversations out of the podcast realm, like out of you and me sitting here listening, you're listening to me talk and wherever I'm at, with you. I believe, energetically I'm with you. I believe that. But take it out of that container and then start having these conversations in our homes. Start having these conversations with our friends. Start having these conversations with our sisters and our cousins and our moms and our daughters and ultimately in our community. Because I think that is how we have ripple effects that go beyond this show, that go beyond oh, that was a nice episode. Oh, I feel good. Oh, I got some tips on how to feel better in my life. Like that's great and fine and dandy. And you know what? There's plenty of shows that give you awesome tips about, nutrition for women and hormone support for women. And, this is the best way for you to be a better mom and have these conversations. And you know what? Those are fantastic. Those are fantastic things. But this show, I think my intention for the show is to go a little bit deeper, is to go beyond the tips. Of course, I want to give you things that help you live a better life. That's important to me. And also, I think sometimes even just building the awareness and reflecting on our experiences and seeing that our experiences are shaped by being a woman and embracing that and then sharing that outside of us, it starts to make it creates a world where we can relax a little bit more, where we can allow ourselves to be us, where we can share our light, where we can embrace our bodies and quit trying to freaking shove them into these ridiculous made up standards, where we can stop criticizing ourselves for everything that we do and actually start loving and accepting who we are and who we are growing into. That's what I want to do. So, the conversations this season might be a little bit more like this, a little less scripted, a little bit more riff style. Like, I'm just talking, y'all. I kind of have like a little outline, but I promise you, I'm not following it. But our conversations are going to be like you and me sitting here having chit chats. And I'm practicing right along with you, having these conversations, and putting them out publicly. We're all practicing here, and this is what's so beautiful. I'm looking forward to this season. I hope you are too. I hope you are too. I hope you're excited. I'm excited because there's a movement that's happening, and I believe you're a part of it. I believe I'm a part of it. It's a movement to come back to love within ourselves, a movement to come back to love and honoring and respecting the earth and the planet, to respecting who we are as women, to embracing our full power and potential and stop abandoning all of these parts of ourselves, to be more body literate, to understand our emotional patterns and to ditch burnout and hustle culture and all of these things and start living cyclically again. I believe that that's what's happening. Come on board. Come on and join me. I mean, the water feels great. It's going to be a great season. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. So I hope that you have had an amazing couple of months. I know some amazing things have been happening here. Like I said, farm is farming. I've got um, Chicky Baby Farms is up and running, and I'm about to be drowning in eggs here soon. So I'm starting a farm stand and going to be selling my veggies and my chicken eggs and also making some healthier versions of baked goods and treats that help support, kind of aren't contributing so much to inflammation. I'm looking forward to that. And then also, I started writing my book, and I created space, and that was what is so great. And something that I want to emphasize here about this show is there's reasons why we take breaks. There's reasons why I didn't continue to record over the last 2 months. Of course, I had episodes for you to listen to. By the way, if you liked the Phoenix unscripted episodes, please let me know. Send me an email or a DM. Y'all, you can message me on Facebook or Instagram. I will respond. It's me. It's just me, y'all. Let me know. Like, did you like the Phoenix unscripted episodes? Choosing those was a lot of fun. Getting to share some of my more private recordings that I have on my phone was vulnerable, but also pretty cool too. So if you liked those, or if you had one that was like your favorite, then either comment on it on YouTube or shoot me a message and let me know. You can always email me at phoenixperspectivepod@gmail.com. I would be happy to hear what did you like? Or even regardless of that, you can tell me what you've been up to for the last 2 months. Like, what have you been doing? Is there a new project that was kind of birthed through you as spring has sprung here in the Northern Hemisphere? And if you listen and you're in the Southern Hemisphere, then, things are kind of heading into the winter spaces. So sending you love there as you've released things and embracing the cooler temperatures as they move in. But wherever you're at, I want to hear from you. Like, I want to hear from you. Talk to me, goose. Let me know what you've been up to. I've really enjoyed this break. It gave me some space to explore some things, to get really clear about how I want to support you, how I want to build community. I've also started a brand new, well, it's kind of new. It's an old community in a new space. I've resurrected the Red Tent Society. I had started that group back in 2023 and Facebook, and it's been resurrected and now lives over on Patreon. So that is a beautiful space if you want to learn all about cycle tracking and learning more about your period and learning more about how to care for yourself and even connecting to the seasons with seasonal attunement. Y'all want to go check out that. That's where we're at. It's a new space, so I'm building it, but it's the red tent is open. The doors are open and you are always welcome to come sit inside the tent. Um, so yeah, I think that's what's so beautiful about giving space. And I'm looking forward to also now being in this new season and getting back into recording, being here for you every week and supporting you as you rise in your real life and you rise into the next incredible version of yourself. Yeah. Did you think I was going to leave you without a card reading? I hope not. I hope you do it. I am not changing that. Oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite parts of the show. Absolutely, we are not changing that. Don't you worry. Don't you worry your little biscuits there, sister. Okay. So I am using the Work Your Light deck from Rebecca Campbell. Absolutely love this deck. I used it a lot last season. I think, of all her decks, I think this one really does help me to tune in on a daily basis for just showing up with purpose and joy and calling me out on my shit when I need to be called out on it. So if you're ever looking for like a good daily deck, this is a great one. You can get it from Hay House or Amazon, wherever you find your local metaphysical store or your local bookstore. They sell those too. So okay, what is the card for today? Ooh, girl. Oh, this is a good one. This is the warrior woman. You've really got to watch this show on YouTube. She is this powerful woman. She's holding a sword that's kind of in front of her, and it says, "Have you answered your deepest calling?" I believe that there is a siren song. There is a soul calling that is echoing through humanity right now. And for some of us, it's really loud. For some of us, it's just started as a whisper, but it's getting louder. And I think that it's coming to a head. It's like these callings, whatever it is that's like on our hearts to go do or to share, the messages that are wanting to come through us or the creations that are wanting to be birthed through us, they're getting louder. They're getting stronger. And so this card is a reminder that you are a warrior. Maybe you're a warrior for love, a warrior for peace and compassion, for healing. Maybe you're a warrior for truth, right? A warrior doesn't necessarily mean that they're fighting or that fighting means violence. I believe that I'm a warrior, I'm a protector of cyclical information, cyclical wisdom. And I'm not the only one. You're going to hear from others that are doing the same thing. But that's my calling. But what is yours? And it's not necessarily something that's related to what you get paid for or to your work. It could be something different. It could just be simply creating, expressing joy, sharing a smile with somebody when you're out and about. Again, this is about the things we do in real life. This isn't just about the big grand gestures or the grand big old things that happen. Yes, callings can feel very big. And also, we live our callings through our actions every day. And so, this is a reminder that you are a warrior woman. You are strong. You are powerful. And the world has maybe told you stories that said you were weak because you bleed, that you were incapable of being logical or of leading or of being rational or all of these things, right? Set those aside, set those stories aside and reclaim that power and sovereignty that is within you. And that calling, that voice inside of you that is asking you to share the thing, to do the thing, to be the thing. That is not for nothing. There's purpose in that. And if you follow that path, you will find something within you. You will uncover a part of you that you've never seen before. So go follow it. Heed the call. Answer the phone, sister. It might be your next greatest adventure. I love you so much, friend. I'm so glad we're back. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad we get to spend this time together now. And I'm looking forward to exploring what we're going to explore for the next few months. And I'm really freaking stoked. I'm really stoked. So sending you love, sending you joy. May you have a beautiful rest of your day. And remember, you are so worthy of your vibrant life. Yes, I'm celebrating you because you just finished another episode of the Phoenix Perspective Podcast. I'm so grateful that we got to spend this time together today. It's really been a blast. If this episode lit up your heart or sparked something inside your soul, please follow the show and share it with a friend who's ready to rise too. Until next moon phase, remember, you are so worthy of living your most vibrant life. I'll see you next time.